Hey guys, Jeremy here. Just wanted to do a special video. I have hit the 100 subscriber mark, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much. I really can't believe 100 people made a conscious decision to click that subscribe button. So I want to thank every one of y'all. So it's been a few days since I dropped a video, and I was just kind of trying to think of something that would be kind of special for y'all. So I thought we'll do a video to get to know each other a little bit. As y'all know, my name's Jeremy. I live in Alabama, as most of y'all know. Had a good mother and father. They raised me right. I made a bunch of dumb choices. I'm just going to go through and just tell y'all what God has brought me through. I call him Father. I'm not into the whole the name thing. All right, if I call him Jehovah or Father, that's the two names I call him. But I mean, the God I serve, I believe if you call him God, he knows that you're not talking to the old prosperity deity. I mean, he knows your intentions. It's just I call him Jehovah out of respect because, you know, God is a general term, and I feel he deserves a little bit more respect than that. Or I call him Father. That's my usual go-to term is I call him Father. But before we go further, I would like to just say a prayer for y'all. Father, I just pray that you just bless all these people that watch this video. I feel that something I might say may have something to touch their heart, God, because you're the one that led me to do this video. You put it on my heart to tell these people some of the stuff you've brought me through, so I pray you give me the right words and the right things to say. In your son's name I pray, amen. Alright, so I'm from Alabama. I had a pretty good childhood, but I was raised in church. I've always knew about God, but you know, in them rebellious teenage years, you kind of start questioning things, and like a lot of people, I kind of went the opposite way. I started dabbling in the occult a little bit, mainly Wiccan, messed with a Ouija board, and you know, I believe all of that opened me up for a lot of oppression. I don't think there was any kind of possession or anything because, you know, like I said, I turned my life over to God when I was 12, so I don't believe they was able to possess me, but I believe I was under a whole lot of oppression. So fast forward a few years in high school, you know, dabbling in the occult. I live in a real rural community. Was very not a real popular kid in school. Did not really understand the whole trends of I've got to have this clothing or get this pair of shoes or wear my hair like this. That just wasn't, you know, I never really got into that, and you know, that's what a lot of the kids were into, and if you wasn't like them, you usually got made fun of, and that was me. But I grew a lot from it, you know. That actually made me a lot stronger. So in ways, yeah, it hurt back then, but in ways I appreciate that because, you know, that let me deal with things later in life. And you know, if you hear this and you know you're kind of dealing with the same thing, just stick in there. It gets better. You know, you will pull through. All right, so then I got on drugs real bad, and you know, around 18, 19, you know, I got on drugs real bad. I was a real big piece of crap. I married my high school sweetheart. we kind of grew into different people. You know, I lost a son. I'm sorry, y'all. It's kind of hard for me to talk about all this to a whole bunch of strangers. Back when I actually, was going to church, I gave my testimony once before, but it was a room of like 12, 13 people that I knew well. So this is a whole web full of strangers. So y'all just bear with me. I'm real nervous. So got on drugs real bad. Me and my ex-wife, we just couldn't make it work. We had two beautiful children out of the marriage, though. But like I said, my son, he passed away. If he would have made it 4 more days, he would have been 4. He had an extremely rare form of an extremely rare kidney disease. It was called hemolytic uremic syndrome. At the time, 6 people in the whole world had what he had. So all they could do was treat the symptoms. Really couldn't treat the disease. So it was kind of, it attacks your organs, kind of like E. coli does, but it's at a genetic level. So like I said, extremely rare. And then after that happened, I went downhill really bad. I was a piece of crap. I was a thief, a liar. I just was not a really good person, you know. When you start doing things like drugs, especially in excesses like I was doing at the time, because I was trying to numb a lot of pain, and so that opened me up to some doorways. So I ended up doing things that I honestly thought I would never do. It actually kind of it makes me sick thinking about it these days, because I never thought I would have ended up that way. But I was a thief, a liar. I manipulated people. Oh man, I was bad. And I still believed in God, but I absolutely did not like him. A lot of people came and prayed for my son, and just kept trying to assure me that he was going to be all right. Well, the day he died, I blamed God for quite a long time. Like a lot of people that loses loved ones in their life, they have a tendency to do. But I feel like Father saw down the road. I feel like he saved him from a troubled life, because he would have never been able to live, just a normal child life, because, he had to have treatments done 3 times a week. He had tubes that came out of his chest, so that could hook him up and do the treatments. It was like dialysis. And so I feel like Father just really saved him from a really hard life. Well, after that, I got super bad. And then about almost a year later, I lost my mom. My mom was one of my best friends. Even at my worst, she never saw the piece of crap that I was. She was an amazing lady, godly person. She had me in church. Her and her mom had me in church most of my childhood, and I appreciate that. It does say in the Bible, if you raise your child up in the ways of the Lord, they will return when they're older, and I firmly believe in that. Alright, fast forward, lose my mom. I go off the deep end. I start doing heroin, all kind of opiates. I was on methamphetamine, coke, crack. If I could get my hands on it, I done it, and excessively. And, to the point where I was pretty much homeless at a few points in my life. You know, God always, you know, Father always brought me through that. And I didn't see it back then. But looking back on it now, the only reason I'm still here is because Father has a purpose for me, because there is times I really should not have made it through. You know, I've had one car wreck where I took a bunch of Klonopins and drank a bunch of alcohol and decided it would be a good idea to go out and have some fun with one of my friends. Ended up passing out, running off the road, ending the car that we were in, and you know, I thought I'd killed my best friend. Honestly, I don't see how we both walked away from it, but anyhow, I'm just rambling. I'm sorry, guys. So, fast forward, lost my mom. I get to doing drugs real bad. You know, all this time, I still was able to hold some jobs here and there, and so I started getting into the profession I'm in now. I work in a meat department. I was a meat department manager for 16 years, and I decided to step down for a little while. Work for a different company, working my way back up to management. I'm an assistant manager now over here in Oxford. Won't name the company due to the fact I talk about some controversial things sometimes. So anyhow, I was working with this guy named David, and you know, he had often tried to talk to me about God, and you know, I just didn't want to hear it. And you know, one day for about, oh man, he talked to me, and it just hit my heart. And for about a week, you know, I'd lay in bed at night just thinking, you know, what if he's right, you know? And finally, one night I was laying there and I said, God, if you're there, I know I've done some stupid things. I've cursed you, I've mocked you, and if you find it in your heart, I'm ready. I'm tired of this. And that night, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I can't really describe it. It was like my heart was no longer so heavy, because I was an angry man. You know, even after I got married to my wife now, Lexi, she is a wonderful person. She's brought me through a lot, and I've put her through a lot, and you know, I can never express to her how much it means to me that she stuck by me. She didn't see the worst of me, but she saw some of the bad of me. By the time, you know, me and her had met and got together, you know, I was no longer stealing, manipulating people. Meeting her made me want to do better. Really did. I know that sounds cliche, and, you know, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's really true. Meeting her and the opportunity to be with her made me want to be a better person. And there's just no words I can express to tell her that. So, here we are. I've been completely clean for, oh gosh, how long has it been? 5.5 years. I had that meeting with God, and this is not me confirming Illuminati or anything, but I was 33 years old, because I always thought it was weird or funny that I came back to God when I was 33. Jesus was crucified at 33, and then years later I find out the significance of the number 33, so I always thought that was kind of cool. But anyhow, so I got off all the drugs. I never had to go to any clinics or anything, you know. The only thing I ever got back addicted to when me and my wife now uh, got married was opiates. And sorry about the interruption. Had to go take care of a dog real quick. Had to put him up. He was barking. So as I was saying, doctors had put me on pain pills because of I did the pro wrestling thing for about 5 years, and I have had a few car wrecks, so my back has taken a beating over the years. So they put me on pain pills and muscle relaxers, which is all the medical professions ever want to do, is put you on medication. They don't want to actually try to treat what's wrong. They want to give you pills so you can keep coming back, again and again, a vicious cycle. They don't think about the effects it has on people, which is, you know, a lot of the doctors aren't in on it. They're just doing what they're told. But it's still sad that they won't take time to do research to find out what's really going on, when I'm an idiot with a cell phone and a laptop, and I can figure this stuff out. So, but anyhow, me and her, we talked about that, and, you know, I prayed, and I went through the withdrawals, went to work, never missed a beat. Not saying it wasn't rough, but, you know, Father, he brought me through it all. It's amazing. I can't express how far he has brought me. I'm not the same man I was, you know, 10 years ago. If you'd have asked some of my friends, you know, 20 years ago where I would be, they would tell you I would be either dead or in prison right now, and that is no joke. People kind of had already wrote me off as a lifer. And so, you know, Father, he brought me through it all. He, you know, got me through the addictions, got me through the anger, which was a lot of my problem, was just the anger. I had so much anger built up. So, you know, like I said, turned my life over to Father when I was 33. Started going to church, but I started reading my Bible, but I got to noticing stuff that I thought, you know, I had memorized when I was younger and was reading the Bible, didn't say what I thought it would, or thought it did. You know, like where two or more are gathered. I know that's what it used to say. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I know that. I know that the lion laid down with the lamb. So I'm reading through my Bible. I'm noticing these things wouldn't adding up with what I remembered, but I just wrote them off at that time. But didn't think too much about it. So I thought, well, shoot, I guess just been misquoting all these years. I could have swore I memorized it, but I guess I'm wrong because it's right here in front of me. So fast forward to, let's see here, that was about 33, about 2.5 years later, and I already knew that event that happened in September with the airplanes was, the story that they gave us was not legit. I already knew that, but, you know, like a lot of people, didn't put too much thought into it after that. And so I come across this video talking about Berenstain Bears. I know that was a lot of people's first Mandela effect. So I know it was the Berenstain Bears because I have an anchor memory with that, because I had such a problem pronouncing it as a child when I was reading it because of the way it was spelt. I always wanted to say Stein. And we used to have a teacher in school, our Spanish teacher. His name was Mr. Bernstein. And I always joked with him saying, "You're 1 E away from being a bear." And so I have that memory of it being that way. And man, it floored me. And then I started going through and finding out other ones. And that's when I started, really realizing things aren't what they seem. All right, so I went down the Mandela rabbit hole for a while. And all the time, I'm still, reading the Bible. And I noticed a lot of the things in church kind of contradicted what Bible was trying to teach. And so I was coming to the realization that a lot of the churches today are pretty much promoting churchianity. I don't even like being called a Christian. I am a follower of Christ. Here's what I believe. In case y'all are wondering, the God I believe in created everything through his Son. Everything that we come in contact with, everything that you see, everything you don't see, he created it all. All right? And he created us humans. We fell at the garden when Eve was deceived. Sin entered the world. He sent his Son to show us how we were supposed to try to live, not give us all these rules. Basically, you boil it down to, you believe in God, you love God with all your heart, you believe in his Son, you treat people good. Basically, outside of that, honor your mother and your father. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't take God's name in vain. Be content with what you got. Don't want other people's stuff. Those are just good things to live by anyway. So, if I'm wrong, then I have spent my life going from a very miserable person who honestly hated to wake up in the morning, who the thought of suicide crossed his mind so many times, to I'm the most peaceful, chillaxed I've ever been in my life. And I attribute it to my spiritual walk with Father. I'm not a religious person. I think religion will get you further away from Father than anything, because religion is what man has put upon us, the rules that man have put upon us. If you read the Word, there's not a whole lot of rules that God has given us. So if you're thinking that, giving your life to God, you're missing out, well, you're not. You're missing out by not trying to find a way to walk with God. So, anyhow, back to what I was talking about. Sorry about the rambling again. Had an opportunity to talk about Father for a minute. So, down the Mandela effect rabbit hole, and then I found out that history that they teach us is nothing like what really happened. Mountains are melted buildings. We got all the Antiquitech that they say that they built, 1700s, that the architecture just cannot be matched today. And it seems like the further back you go, the more monumental, megalithic mathematically correct structures are, stuff that we can't even replicate today. So they try to tell us that we are the most advanced we've ever been, but that is farthest from the truth. And in the middle there, I found out we don't live on a spinning ball, hurtling through space, an accident by chaos. You know, I used to believe that. I used to try to fit globe Earth into my spiritual model, and it really, I had to make assumptions just to make it fit. You know, you get to Genesis and you come across this thing called the firmament. Well, a lot of scriptures will translate it as expanse, but that's not correct. It's rakia, you know, beaten out like bronze. So it really indicates a firm structure. And what really solidified it for me was horizon. The fact that no matter how high you go, the horizon meets at eye level. That would be impossible if we lived on a spherical plane. That's impossible. And the fact that we can see too far, that just kind of solidified it right there. And then you go into the Bible, and then when you take it literally instead of being figurative like I was trying to push it to be, then it's undeniable. You know, the fact that there is no pictures of Earth from space. NASA will tell you that they are all CGI images. I mean, they admit it themselves. If you go to digging, they tell you all the military documents stating that they base flight and the discharge of weapons on a flat, non-rotating surface. I mean, even in the military, I mean, if you dig, you will find it. So, found out the Earth is flat, history is not what they tell us, so I pretty much found out everything is fake. I mean, we don't know what really happened, what going on. Heck, we don't even know what year we're in, really. They tell us it's 2021, but I don't believe that. There is evidence to suggest that they've added 1,000 years. So, I mean, but I said all that to say this. I just want to thank each and every one of you that subscribe and actually took the time to listen to this video to hear me ramble. I just kind of wanted to share a little bit of my life with y'all, give y'all a little bit of my journey. I just wanted to do something kind of intimate and special. You know, like I said, I am blown away that 100 people subscribe to my channel, and you know, I chat with a few of y'all, and that means so much when y'all leave me comments. So don't be afraid to leave a comment. I really enjoy it, and I'll respond back to each and every one. And thank y'all so much. And in closing, I would like to say, if you're in a bad spot right now and you think that you can't get out, there is a creator out there. He made you. He designed, he knew you before you was in your mother's womb. He knows how many hairs is on your head. He loves you. He's just waiting for you to holler out to him, give him a shout out. Hey, Father, I acknowledge you're here. I've messed up. I wanna get closer with you. I wanna walk with you, Father. But you're just gonna have to get to that point. And don't sit and wait and think like, well, I'll do it when I got to work on some things. I got to be a little bit better. You're not going to be. You're not going to be. We all sin and fall short of God's glory. I mean, it's what it says in His Word, and I believe in His Word. I believe that the scriptures are changing, but you can tell truth when you hear it. You have a Holy Spirit in you that will resonate when you hear truth, and then will tell you when there's not truth. It's discernible. I pray for discernment all the time. That is, I think, in today's world, that is the most valuable thing you could pray for, other than peace of mind. But if you're walking close with Father, He'll give you peace of mind. I know the world's falling apart around us. We've got the fake thing going on with the, well, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get my channel taken down. Y'all know what I was about to say. It's been going on for 1.5 years now. You know, that's ushering in the one world government, the new world order that nobody believed was coming. But I mean, really, it's not a new world order. It's been around. They're just got all their pieces into place. They're really finalizing their game. They have all the pieces. They got all the players. So all I'm saying is, if you're afraid, call out to Father. I promise you, I've never heard anybody say, I regret finding a spiritual connection with the Creator. I've never heard that. And honestly, I don't think I ever will. He's changed my life so much. Well, guys, I don't want to keep rambling. Like I said, just kind of wanted to do something special, intimate. This is the first time I did a video where I showed my face, and I know it was kind of rambly. I'm really nervous. I'm scared to death talking to y'all. And I just thank y'all so much for the support y'all have given. Big shout out to Jen, Truthseeker69, Awesome Austin, Christian Knapp. Thank y'all so much, brothers and sisters. Y'all gave me the push I need, and I mean, this has been very satisfying, and I thank y'all so much. Well, guys, this has been Jeremy with I Want to Know More. I'll have some new vids coming up soon. Can't wait to see y'all. Thanks so much for stopping by. Love y'all. God bless.